Why most people stay broke, and it's not about income. Money has this strange power over us. We think about it constantly yet avoid talking about it honestly. We stress about bills yet scroll through online stores late at night. We say we want financial freedom yet repeat the same patterns that keep us trapped. And here's what almost nobody tells you. The problem isn't how much you earn. It's the invisible programming running in your head that you never questioned. Most people walk through life believing they understand money because they use it every day. But using something and understanding it are completely different things. You use your phone every day, but could you explain how it actually works? Money is the same. We interact with it constantly while being fundamentally confused about what it represents, how it moves, and why we make the decisions we make with it. The uncomfortable truth is that being broke is often a psychological state before it becomes a financial one. You can earn a decent salary and still be broke. You can have money in the bank and still think like someone who's broke. Because being broke isn't just about your bank balance. It's about how you relate to money, how you think about value, and what you believe is possible for you. Let's start with something most people never consider. Money is a tool, not a scorecard. It's not a measure of your worth as a human being. It's not proof that you're smart or stupid, disciplined or lazy, successful or failing. It's a tool that amplifies whatever relationship you have with yourself. If you don't trust yourself, you won't trust yourself with money. If you don't value your time, you won't value the money that represents your time. If you don't believe you deserve good things, you'll unconsciously sabotage every opportunity to build wealth. Think about the last time you made an impulse purchase. Not a planned expense, but something you bought because you felt a certain way. Maybe you were stressed, bored, sad, or even happy. What were you really buying? The object itself, or the feeling you hoped it would give you? Most purchases are emotional transactions disguised as logical decisions. We buy comfort when we're anxious. We buy status when we feel invisible. We buy convenience when we're overwhelmed. We buy entertainment when we're avoiding something difficult. This is where the cycle begins. You feel an emotion you don't want to feel. You buy something to change that feeling. You get a temporary relief. Then you look at your bank account and feel a new uncomfortable emotion. So you try to ignore it, distract yourself, maybe buy something else to feel better. The cycle repeats. It's not about discipline. It's about using money as an emotional regulation tool without realizing that's what you're doing. Now add another layer, the comparison trap. You see what other people have. You see their houses, cars, vacations, restaurants, clothes. You don't see their debt, their stress, their sleepless nights, or the fragility of their entire lifestyle. But your brain doesn't know that. Your brain just sees that they have something you don't, and suddenly you feel behind. You feel like you should have more by now. You feel pressure to catch up, to prove something, to show that you're doing okay too. So you spend money you don't have on things you don't need to impress people you don't like, and you end up trapped in a life that looks good on the outside but feels hollow on the inside. Because you're not building your life. You're performing someone else's idea of what success looks like. Here's what keeps this system running. The belief that more money will solve the problem. If I just earned more, everything would be fine. If I just got that promotion, that raise, that bonus, then I could relax. But study after study shows the same pattern. When people earn more money without changing their relationship with money, they just spend more. The lifestyle expands to match the income. The stress doesn't decrease. The sense of security doesn't increase. They're just broke at a higher income level. This happens because the problem was never the amount of money. The problem is the operating system running in the background, the beliefs, habits, fears, and patterns that determine how you use money. And most of these patterns were installed when you were young, by people who had their own complicated relationship with money. Maybe you grew up hearing that money doesn't grow on trees, that rich people are greedy, that you have to work hard for every penny, that wanting money is shallow, that talking about money is rude. These messages create a conflict. You need money to survive, but you've been taught that wanting it or focusing on it makes you a bad person. So you end up in this weird middle ground where you stress about money constantly, but feel guilty for caring about it. Or maybe you grew up with the opposite messages, that money equals success, that you're only valuable if you're wealthy, that your worth is measured by what you own. So you chase money desperately, but it never feels like enough because you're trying to fill an emotional hole with a practical tool. No amount of money can make you feel worthy if you don't believe you're worthy. Both of these backgrounds create the same result: a dysfunctional relationship with money that keeps you stuck. Let's talk about what actually keeps people broke, beyond the surface level. First, there's financial illiteracy. Most people were never taught how money works. Not in school, not at home, nowhere. They don't understand interest rates, inflation, opportunity cost, assets versus liabilities, or the difference between net worth and income. They make major financial decisions based on feelings and guesses because nobody ever taught them a better way. When you don't understand compound interest, you can't appreciate the power of starting early with investments. When you don't understand inflation, you think keeping all your money in a savings account is being responsible. When you don't understand opportunity cost, you can't evaluate trade-offs properly. You're making decisions in the dark, hoping for the best, and wondering why things never improve. Second, there's lifestyle inflation. Every time your income increases, your spending increases to match. You get a raise, so you upgrade your apartment. You get a bonus, so you buy a nicer car. You get a promotion, so you start eating at more expensive restaurants. Your income goes up, but your savings rate stays the same or even decreases because now you have more necessary expenses. This happens partly because of adaptation. We adapt to our circumstances quickly. What felt like a luxury last month becomes a baseline need this month. The nice apartment stops feeling special. The new car becomes just your car. The expensive restaurants become your normal, and you're back to feeling the same. Financial pressure you felt before, except now you're locked into higher fixed costs. Third, there's the debt trap. Credit cards, car loans, personal loans, buy now, pay later schemes. They all promise the same thing. Have what you want now, worry about paying for it later. And it works for a moment. You get the thing, the experience, the relief. But later always comes. And when it does, you're paying for the past while trying to live in the present and plan for the future. A huge portion of your income is already spoken for before you even receive it. The insidious part about debt is that it steals your options. When you're in debt, you can't take risks. You can't leave a job you hate. You can't start a business. You can't take time off to learn something new. You're stuck in whatever generates enough income to service the debt. And every month, a piece of your life energy is transferred to a bank in exchange for purchases you barely remember making. Fourth, there's the lack of systems. Most people manage money reactively. They look at their bank account when they need to buy something and hope there's enough. They pay bills as they arrive. They save whatever is left over at the end of the month, which is usually nothing. There's no plan, no structure, no intentional design. They're just responding to whatever happens. Without systems, money management requires constant willpower and decision-making. And willpower is a limited resource. When you're tired, stressed, or emotional, your willpower depletes, and you fall back into old patterns. But if you have systems, money management happens automatically. You don't have to decide to save. It happens before you see the money. You don't have to remember to pay bills. They're automated. You don't have to track every expense manually. Your system does it for you. Fifth, there's the short-term thinking. Humans are wired to prioritize immediate rewards over future benefits. That's why it's easier to spend money today than save it for 10 years from now. The pleasure today is certain and tangible. The benefit in the future is abstract and uncertain. Your brain weighs them unequally, and the present almost always wins. This is why so many people reach retirement age with almost nothing saved. It's not that they were stupid or lazy. It's that every day for 40 years they chose the immediate comfort over the future security because that's what their brain was designed to do. They didn't override the default programming. Now let's address the common beliefs that keep people stuck in these patterns. Belief 1, I'll start saving when I earn more. This is the most common and most destructive belief, because if you can't save anything from your current income, you won't save anything from a higher income. The habits that determine how you use money don't change just because the amount changes. If you spend everything you have now, you'll spend everything you have then. The only way to break the cycle is to start practicing the behavior now, with whatever amount you have, even if it's tiny, even if it feels pointless, because you're not just saving money, you're building the habit of saving. Belief 2, you have to sacrifice happiness to build wealth. This creates a false choice between enjoying life now and having security later. And it makes financial responsibility feel like punishment, which is why people avoid it. But the truth is more nuanced. Yes, building wealth requires some delayed gratification, but it doesn't require misery. It requires intentionality. It's not about never spending money on things you enjoy. It's about spending consciously on what actually brings you joy and cutting the things that don't. When you track your spending honestly, you'll find that much of your money goes to things that don't make you happy. Subscriptions you forgot about, convenience purchases that save 10 minutes but cost $20, impulse buys that seemed important in the moment but are now clutter, social obligations you didn't enjoy. These aren't sacrifices. Cutting them doesn't reduce your happiness. It eliminates waste. Real sacrifice might mean driving an older car for a few more years. It might mean cooking at home more often. It might mean saying no to expensive trips you can't afford. But if you're doing it with a clear purpose, toward a specific goal that matters to you, it doesn't feel like deprivation. It feels like progress. Belief 3. Investing is only for rich people. This belief keeps people out of the one game that actually builds wealth over time. They think you need thousands of dollars to start investing, so they never start. But most investment platforms now allow you to start with almost nothing. You can invest spare change from purchases. You can invest small monthly amounts automatically. The barrier to entry is essentially gone. The real barrier is psychological. Investing feels risky and complicated. It requires admitting you don't know something and learning it. It requires trusting that something will work over time without constant intervention. It requires thinking in decades instead of days. Most people would rather keep their money in a checking account where they can see it and access it immediately, even though inflation is quietly eroding its value every single year. Belief 4. I'm just bad with money. This is learned helplessness. You've tried before and failed, so you've concluded that you're inherently incapable. But money management isn't a talent you're born with. It's a skill you develop through practice. And like any skill, you start badly and improve over time. The difference between someone who's good with money and someone who isn't is usually just that one person kept practicing and learning, while the other gave up and accepted the identity of being bad with money. When you say, I'm bad with money, you're not describing a permanent condition. You're describing your current skill level, and skills can improve. Belief 5. Financial advice doesn't apply to me because my situation is unique. Yes, everyone's circumstances are different, but the principles of money management are universal. Spend less than you earn. Save consistently. Avoid high-interest debt. Invest for the long term. Build an emergency fund. These aren't tips for a specific type of person. They're fundamental principles that work for everyone, regardless of income, background, or situation. What changes is the implementation. How you apply these principles will look different based on your income, expenses, goals, and constraints. But the underlying logic doesn't change. And most people use the uniqueness of their situation as an excuse not to start, not as a reason to adapt the advice to fit their life. So what do you actually do? How do you break these patterns and build a different relationship with money? Start with awareness. You cannot change what you're not aware of. Track every dollar you spend for 1 month. Not to judge yourself, not to restrict yourself, just to see the truth. Most people are genuinely shocked when they see where their money actually goes. The small daily purchases that seem insignificant add up to major monthly expenses. The occasional splurges happen more often than you remember. The fixed costs you think are necessary might be optional. This awareness is uncomfortable, which is why most people avoid it. But it's the foundation of everything else. You need to see the current state clearly before you can design a different one. Next, define your why. Not what you want to buy, but what you want your life to feel like. Do you want security, freedom, options, less stress, more time? Be specific about the feeling you're chasing, because that's what will motivate you when the discipline feels hard. Money itself is meaningless. The life it enables is what matters. Then, design systems that automate good behavior. Set up automatic transfers to savings the day your paycheck arrives. Set up automatic bill payments so you never miss a deadline. Set up automatic investments so you're building wealth without thinking about it. Remove the need for daily decisions and willpower. Make the right choice, the easy choice. Start small with saving. If you can't save 20% of your income right now, save 5%. If you can't save 5%, save 1%. The amount matters less than the consistency. You're building a habit. You're proving to yourself that you can do this. And once the habit is established, you can increase the amount gradually. Create a gap between impulse and purchase. When you want to buy something that's not a basic necessity, wait 24 hours. Put it in your cart but don't check out. Write it on a list but don't buy it yet. This creates space for the emotional intensity to decrease. Most impulse purchases are attempts to regulate an emotion. If you wait, the emotion often passes, and the desire to buy disappears with it. Build an emergency fund before anything else. This is your buffer between you and disaster. It's what keeps a car repair from becoming a financial crisis. It's what keeps a job loss from becoming a catastrophe. Start with $500, then $1,000, then 1 month of expenses, then 3 months, then 6 months. This fund isn't for vacations or wants. It's for actual emergencies. And having it changes everything about how you feel day to day. Eliminate high-interest debt aggressively. Credit card debt, payday loans, anything with an interest rate above 10%. These are financial emergencies. They're bleeding you every month. Pay minimum payments on everything except the highest interest debt. Then attack that one with every extra dollar you have. Once it's gone, move to the next highest. This is the debt avalanche method, and it's the mathematically optimal approach. Learn about investing, even if you can't invest much yet. Understand the difference between stocks, bonds, index funds, ETFs, and retirement accounts. Understand compound interest and why starting early matters more than investing large amounts. Understand risk and diversification. You don't need to become an expert, but you need to understand the basics well enough to make informed decisions. Increase your income. This often gets overlooked in personal finance advice because it's not about restriction and discipline, but it matters enormously. Yes, you need to manage what you have well, but you also need to expand what you have. That might mean negotiating a raise, changing jobs, developing new skills, starting a side project, or finding ways to create value that people will pay for. The combination of managing money well and earning more money creates exponential progress. Surround yourself with people who have a healthy relationship with money. If everyone around you is broke and proud of it, it's going to be hard to change. If everyone around you defines success by consumption, it's going to be hard to save. Find people, even if it's just online communities, who are on the same path, who talk about money openly and honestly, who celebrate paying off debt and building wealth, who understand the long game. Practice gratitude for what you have while working toward what you want. This is the balance that most people miss. If you focus only on what you don't have, you'll be miserable and never satisfied. If you focus only on what you have, you'll become complacent and stop growing. You need both. Appreciate the security of having a roof over your head while working toward owning it outright. Appreciate the car that gets you to work while saving for a more reliable one. The gratitude keeps you grounded. The ambition keeps you moving forward. Understand that setbacks will happen. You will overspend 1 month. You will make a bad financial decision. You will get hit with an unexpected expense right when you thought you were making progress. This doesn't mean you failed. This means you're human and life is unpredictable. The difference between people who build wealth and people who stay broke isn't that one group never makes mistakes. It's that one group gets back on track after mistakes while the other gives up. Reframe your relationship with time. Every financial decision is a trade-off between present you and future you. When you spend money today, you're taking options away from future you. When you save money, today you're giving options to future you. Neither choice is inherently right or wrong, but most people heavily favor present you without considering the consequences. Try to balance the needs of both versions of yourself. Present you deserves to enjoy life. Future you deserves security and options. Stop trying to keep up. Stop comparing your Chapter 3 to someone else's Chapter 20. Stop measuring your worth by your net worth. Stop letting social media dictate what your life should look like. The game of comparison is unwinnable because there will always be someone with more. But the game of building your own version of a good life, according to your own values, that's a game you can win. This is long-term thinking in a short-term world. Everything around you is designed to make you focus on now. Advertisements selling you immediate satisfaction. Social media showing you everyone's highlight reel. Credit systems offering you future money today. Entire industries built on the premise that you can't wait, shouldn't wait, don't need to wait. But real wealth, real security, real freedom, these are built slowly over time through consistent action. It's not exciting. There's no hack. There's no shortcut. There's just the compounding effect of small good decisions made repeatedly over years and decades. You're not going to get rich quick, but you can absolutely get wealthy slowly. You can absolutely build a life where money is a tool you control instead of a source of constant stress. You can absolutely break the patterns that have kept you broke. Not because you're special or lucky, but because you decided to learn what you weren't taught, practice what you weren't shown, and build what you weren't given. The question isn't whether it's possible, it's whether you're willing to start today, with whatever you have, wherever you are, even if it feels too small to matter, because that's how everyone who made it out actually did it. They started small when it seemed pointless and kept going when it felt slow. Most people stay broke not because they don't earn enough, but because they never question the patterns they inherited. They never examine the beliefs driving their decisions. They never build the skills that would change their outcomes. They keep doing what they've always done and wondering why nothing changes. You now know better. The only question left is what you're going to do with that knowledge.